Hi. Um, this is a story that I heard a long time ago, and I'm not sure where, about the difference between heaven and hell. And if you've heard this before, sorry. But a man dies, and he's greeted by an angel. And on the left side it says hell, and on the right side it says heaven. And he says, "Wow, I've arrived, huh? Where do I go?" And the angel says, "Well, I'll show you the options that you have." And he goes to the left, takes him into hell. And he walks in, it's this giant room, and all these people are sitting at tables, long tables with lots of food on them. And it's a beautiful buffet food, but the people are screaming and miserable, and they look terrible. They're emaciated. They And what's happened is that here in hell, they all have these 6 foot long spoons, and they're trying to eat the food on the table, and it's just falling from their spoons onto the floor. They're lifting it up way up high with the giant spoons, trying to get the food into their mouths, and it's hitting their heads, and it's all over the floor, and the stink, the room smells from rotting food, and and the food keeps getting brought in, but nobody's able to get much. And everyone's miserable and yelling and screaming at each other, and sometimes hitting each other with their sticks, and it's just absolute hell. And the man sees that, and says, "Okay, wow, this is hell, huh?" Everyone's so miserable and angry. And then the angel says, "Do you want to see heaven now?" And he says, "Yeah, of course. Let me see that." And they walk over into the other room, heaven, and he says, "This," and everyone's happy in this room, and they're singing and everything. And he says, "Can I stay in this room?" He says, "Yes, you can." And let me see. And he looks, and in this room, it's the exact same situation. All the people are at these giant tables, and there's all this food on the tables, and they everyone also has these 6 foot long wooden spoons. But here in heaven, they're feeding each other. They're taking the spoons, and people opening their mouths, and they're feeding each other, and they're all laughing and talking, and everybody is carefully feeding each other, and everyone's just having such a good time, and they're singing songs, and with their 6 foot spoons feeding each other across the table. And that's it. That's the only difference, that in heaven they learn to feed each other instead of trying to feed themselves. I love that story. That's all. Thank you.